Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Bullpen and Beyond. Today we're going to be talking about what the Cubs' goals are for next season and what big trades came this week and what their future is looking like. The rotation's coming together, and it's looking good so far. We have Jamison Tyone, Shode Minanga, which actually got off waivers and now technically re-signs with the Cubs. So that's good. He was solid, but not too good, but he was still pretty good though. Then we have Cade Horton, really good rookie last year. Then we have Justin Steele possibly coming back. Then we have Matthew Boyd, solid year. And then, who's probably going to be in before Justin Steele is Edward Cabrera. We just got him from the Marlins for like Owen Casey and another number 11 prospect for the Cubs. And another like infielder, but I can probably search up their names and tell you guys. But basically, I think this is a solid trade, and I think this really solidified their rotation. So now I think they really have 5 good guys that are going into opening day, and they know who to hand the ball to every 5 days. So I really think this is good. I think this is a solid decision. And the only concern is not really concern, but the only thing is Owen Casey is now gone. But I'm gonna talk about that in like 2 minutes. But back to Cabrera. Cabrera, honestly, he had a good year. I honestly, like I talked about in my other videos, he wasn't really on my radar, but I was hearing some talks about it. I was hearing about like Chris Bassett, Zach Gallen, Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez, guys like that. A lot of lefties too. Mackenzie Gore. I've been talking about Mackenzie Gore for the past 2 weeks on the podcast, and we didn't get him. But that's okay because Edward Cabrera, we actually have a decent amount of lefties. No, we actually do. So we're fine with that. Edward Cabrera can actually throw up to 100 miles an hour, and he's a starter, so that's very promising. And he had a 3.53 ERA through like 150 innings last year, and the Marlins actually they were almost in playoff contention, so I think that's a good sign. It's a good sign. And I think he just adds more stability. And guys like Colin Ray, Javier Assad was, if we didn't get Cabrera, Javier Assad was going to be the 5th guy. And he kind of battled with injuries, so now they can just focus on bullpen roles. And also Jordan Wicks. Jordan Wicks was good too. I think he has a higher ceiling, but yeah. I think it was a good trade, and they have more opportunity. They have like 40 million left, 35 million left to actually get another bat, which we're going to be talking about shortly. But next I'm going to be talking about with Cassie gone, Owen Casey. With Owen Casey gone now, that was the number 1 prospect, and I watched most of his games that he played in. He was solid. But no, he had some upside. Not an insane amount, but he also was the number 1 prospect, and now he's going to the Marlins and going to be the number 3 prospect. But now this shows us that the Cubs are even more serious. They still have very good they still have honestly a really good farm system, to be honest. And they have guys like Alcantara, I'm pretty sure is his name. They're like second or third or fifth best overall prospect, and he'll probably play in the outfield, replacing Kyle Tucker if he doesn't get re-signed. Next video I'll probably talk about Kyle Tucker because right now there's not as much movement around him, but guys like he'll probably replace Seiya Suzuki. The only thing is Seiya Suzuki I think will still play right field, but he was more of a DH last year because of Tucker, so it just all depends. But they could also get a guy. Their future is still bright, so they could use one of their prospects like Alcantara or call up like 2 or 3, just get utility guys to get in innings, you know what I mean? To just get in innings and just still be solid bat, but more utility guy, or just call one of their top prospects like Alcantara. But even though Owen Casey is gone, I think it's still a solid move because it shows they want to try and win now, and they got a very high velocity, very just fast, really good right-hander that I think has high upside. But I think they also could maybe get Cody Bellinger. The only thing I think about that is you just gave him to the Yankees. Why would you go back and get him again? Like, there's not really any point, because you should have just had a 2-year deal, and then even if you did trade Owen Casey, because you didn't have because you already had Bellinger and like right or whatever left, and then like Hap and PCA, then you would still probably end up trading them, but you'd still have Cody Bellinger. So I don't really want them to get Cody Bellinger, but I'm fine because he did go down the Cubs for like a year and a half, 2 years. But I think they could get another bat they need, I feel like, is Alex Bregman. And I think they can still get it. I don't know if they have enough in their like contract or money left to actually be able to like afford him for now, but I think that would be a solid move, even though I already talked about Matt Shaw last time. And yeah, and then they kind of just need the veteran presence again, but I think this is solid, and I think like I said, next episode we're gonna talk about Kyle Tucker. Honestly, I'll probably just talk about him now. There's not that much like talks about him, but I don't think it's highly unlikely we're gonna re-sign him. But if we do, that would help out that would help us out a lot, because it's Kyle Tucker and right, PCA, Seiya Suzuki goes back DH, then Ian Happ, and then we can't really get Alex Bregman then because we're going to have to sign him to a massive deal, but we'll just have to see with that. But I think for Alex Bregman, I think that would be a good fit. Go to Wrigley. He's playing at Wrigley Field and Fenway, very good ballparks. That also doesn't really matter, but still. And I think it would just be a good fit. And the rotation is solidified. The bullpen, I think I already talked about it. They already have like 4 guys that are solidifying it. To be honest, 3 of them were from the Rangers, and the Rangers literally lost like 3 pretty important guys in their bullpen. So, but we're not talking about the Rangers. But I think it was a good week good grab with Edward Cabrera, and we'll just have to see what happens next. And I think this really helps them moving forward because now they can mainly just focus on getting one more bat and just keep going and then get into spring training strong, which is already starting in February or March. So, anything you guys want to leave down in the comments below, just write it. Any questions, any things you guys want me to talk about next week, and I'll be doing it again on Saturday mornings. And yeah, this is very bright for the Cubs' future, but in very good signing so far with Edward Cabrera this year.